Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Folge 23 von Highway Blossoms. In der letzten Folge ist Amber alleine zurück in das RV gelaufen und hat geheult, weil sie nicht mehr klarkam mit was mit ihrem Großvater passiert ist. Dann ist Marina reingekommen und hat sie getröstet und danach hatten wir eine sehr spicy Szene, ja, die ich komplett vorlesen musste, mich sehr weird dabei gefühlt habe. Danach sind sie weitergefahren zu dem Festival und sind, glaube ich, auch fast in der Stadt angekommen, wo das sein soll. Dann ist auf einmal das Tape von ihrem Großvater mit der Musik kaputt gegangen und fast gleichzeitig das Motorhome. Und danach ist sie völlig ausgerastet und hat Marina angeschrien. Ja. Und genau da so ziemlich setzen wir wieder ein.
Yeah, alright. I understand. Thanks.
Untangling the cord, I set the phone down and sit on the bed, then sigh into my hands. Hotel sheets are surprisingly soft. A hell of a lot softer than the stiff rags I've been sleeping on lately. Downtown Palm Springs, a 5-star hotel. We were lucky they had a vacancy, let alone checked us in this late. Of course, a nugget of gold can go a long way in the art of persuasion. Okay. I would have sprung for a cheap motel, but every place has no vacancy signs lit up, and, well, I guess I just wanted to pamper Marina one last time. Especially after earlier. Especially before what I'm about to do. Oof. Oof. The bathroom door creaks open. Marina walks onto the carpet, her hair still damp and stringy. Noticing me, she stares down, avoiding eye contact. I do the same, letting the silence overtake the room until one of us is forced to say something.
How was the shower?
It was nice. Got hot really fast.
The room goes silent again. Neither of us can look at the other, but we're both stuck, trapped until one of us can get past the awkwardness. Marina's the first to look up.
Will the motorhome be okay?
Yeah, they said the engine overheated. Should be able to fix it.
That's good.
The first words we said to each other in hours. Even after I flagged down a car and got someone to call a tow truck for us, we just sat in unbearable silence the entire ride over. But it was the silence that gave me time to reflect about how wrong I was. How wrong I have been. And what it is I really need to do.
I'm sorry about yelling at you earlier. I was angry.
Yeah, myself.
I shouldn't have taken that out on you.
I was being annoying. I should have stopped talking when you asked me to.
No! You've never done anything wrong. It was always me.
Oof. Always.
Don't be so dramatic.
She flails her arms over her forehead and falls dead onto my shoulder.
Everyone gets mad sometimes. Don't beat yourself up over it.
I shake my head and pull away.
It's not about getting mad. It's that I didn't live up to my end of the bargain. Again.
Amber?
I look at the curtains and sigh. We're not missing anything, just an ugly view of the parking lot.
I just got off the phone. I bought a bus ticket home for you. One way.
Was? Was?
Huh?
The cab should be here 10:30 tomorrow morning to take you to the station.
Was? Was? Marina shakes out a stilted laugh. She's not smiling though.
You're just teasing me again, right?
I ignore her and continue.
You can call your parents with the phone. I don't mind paying the extra charge.
You're serious?
Bug-eyed, Marina freezes, the truth slowly setting in.
What about the festival? The treasure?
She snaps back, desperate to find some kind of rope to pull me back in.
You can keep it. All of it. I don't care. I'll go to the festival, go home, and get a job. I'll just pay everything off that way.
Right. How it should have been to begin with. When this trip was about Gramps and not me. I don't care how long it takes. I owe him and Marina that much. Marina sniffles. The tears are starting to leak out, but she braces herself, trying to remain strong.
And what about us?
What about it?
Oof. I feel like I just ripped my heart in half. For Marina, it looks like her entire world has been nuked. It makes me want to hug her. To hush her and tell her over and over that I didn't mean it, that she can always count on me. But I can't.
Why?
It doesn't matter.
With
Tell me!
I said no.
Why not?
Because you wouldn't understand. Look, you'll be fine. Just keep your head down and don't talk to anybody.
Stop treating me like a fucking child!
angry tears streak down her face. Through heavy breathing, she recoils, shocked by her own words.
I didn't mean...
She steps closer and strokes my cheek, turning my face to hers as I try to hide my watery eyes.
Amber, please, don't do this. I love you.
Please stop. Don't make this harder.
How can I understand if you don't tell me?
She barely manages to speak, the tears now in free fall as she chokes out the words.
Let me help.
I squeeze my hand into a fist, tripping as I back away to the door.
I'm sorry.
Amber.
Her knees buckle and she crumples to the ground, bawling as she squeaks out another plea.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
I throw open the door and sprint down the hallway, leaving Marina sobbing as I wipe away tears of my own.
I'm sorry.
Da kommt wieder mein Jam, so richtig passend, ja. The crowd moves on. I don't bother raising my head, allowing myself to be dragged along wherever they're going. My hand is tucked deep within my pocket, playing around with the cassette and strings of tattered ribbon. The hotel is far in the distance now, lit up against the darkening sky. Marina's probably still up there crying. I let go of the tape and force myself to keep walking through the clammy misters attached to shops and bars. It's not my business. It's what's best for her. But it hurts. Everything hurts. I keep expecting Marina to come skip after me and lean on my shoulder so we can explore the town. Or better yet, chew me out and punch me until I feel like I can justify what I've done. But I know that's not going to happen. She's too sweet for that. She's Marina. And I don't want anything to ever change that. Me especially. I can't be trusted with something that precious and not screw it up. Not again. A shrieking laugh shatters my trance. Whipping around, I find a small building squished between a thrift store and a pawn shop. I pull off to the side and peek in, wanting nothing more than to forget about everything. It's smaller than the RV, the entire middle dedicated to 4 mismatched bars set up in a square, surrounded by cheesy island decor and streamers hanging from the ceiling. Under it all, a legion of girls. Tall girls, girly girls, redheads, blondes and brunettes, all cramped inside and chatting each other up in a festival of free-flowing drinks.
Oh.
Okay. I get to see myself blush in real time thanks to the window. The rest of the bar probably does too. I must look like an idiot. I don't leave though. Sitting at the bar beneath the red and pink party lights is a slim girl with shaggy rainbow-dyed hair. She sways on her stool as she laughs with the bartender, the shape of her ass outlined in her tight jeans. I can't buy her a drink, but then again this is the place for it. Maybe I would. Okay. Catching a glimpse of me, she turns to the window and gives me a big bright smile. Images of Marina flash through my head. Images from last night at first. Her holding me kissing her neck. And then the Valley of Fire. finding all the pieces of treasure, helping her on the side of the road. But the images that stick out the most are the quiet times. Me driving on the highway while Marina sways back and forth to my music. I back away, then take off as fast as I can. Am I that disgusting? Was that all Marina was to me? I slap myself. When it barely stings, I do it again, smacking myself so hard that tears beat in my eyes. Blinking them back, I swallow and keep running. One by one, the shops vanish behind me. The sidewalk thins, then disappears. Eventually, it's too dark to even see the ground, and I'm running under unfiltered starlight. When I finally stop, my shoes are heavy with sand. I wilt over and suck in huge gasping breaths. Forcing myself to look over at my shoulder, I realize I'm surrounded by sand dunes and rocky hill ranges. I've left the city far behind me. My footprints prove that. The saguaro cacti scattered at random, like sorrowful people brooding under the moonlight, their prickly limbs reaching for the sky. I settle my breathing and listen to the sounds of the desert. A gust of wind stirring the dry air, the crackly yelp of a coyote, the whimsical horns and hypnotic guitar strums of faint ska music. Wait. Now I really am disgusted. Squinting at the horizon, I catch a glimpse of an unmoving light. It's faint and alone, but it's definitely there. Pressured by some kind of masochism harbored deep within me, I follow the light. The closer I get, the more I know I should turn back, but my fears are proven to be right as I approach the sound. A black motorhome with stripes just as hideous as the music blasting from it. With every screech of a trumpet, my ears bleed a little more. Every time the guitar plays that stupid unchanging rhythm, I die inside. But the worst part is something I've never even been subjected to before. Singing. If you can call it that. Not from the song, but from a familiar brain-piercing wail masking over it. It's awful. Like a dying siren trying to reel in one last sailor. Covering my ears doesn't help. I can only wince in agony as it reaches a high note, probably killing any wildlife in the general area. Someone needs to stop this. I march to the door, wondering why I'm even going to bother. After everything she's pulled, why should I, when I can just go about my life? Yeah, Emma, what? But then she reaches the chorus. Yeah, that's why. I give the doll 3 solid bangs. The singing stops. Das ist so ein Move. Stellt euch das mal vor, ihr campt einfach so mitten in der Wüste und singt so Scheiße und dann kommt einfach ein Bekannter von euch, steht einfach vor der Tür und sagt, könnt ihr mal aufhören?
I knew you numbskulls couldn't live without me!
What? Mariah swings the door open. She's flushed, dangling a glass bottle from her hand, only to be silenced to a single sniff upon seeing me.
You suck at treasure hunting and singing. Go figure.
She slams the door in my face. I knock again. It's delayed, but she reopens the door, her head cautiously peeking halfway out.
You've taken everything from me. What else could you possibly want?
Your soul.
Give me the treasure and you got a deal. I'll throw in the slackers too.
That's probably not gonna happen.
She leans out the door, nearly stumbling over as she peers from side to side.
Where's your better half?
I look down. How do I even answer that? Mariah growls and limps towards her refrigerator.
Come in.
May as well. No one is waiting for me anymore, and yelling at Mariah is as good of a distraction as any. If you call that yelling. Okay. I climb in. My nose is instantly assaulted with the smell of rancid beer. And whiskey. And vodka. There might even be traces of a skunk. I decide to breathe through my mouth. The couch and the cot are both empty. No lackeys to feed into Mariah's delusions inside her.
Where are the other two?
I had in the depths of her fridge. Mariah only
I
snorts.
just wanted to see some stupid walk of fame, so Joe took her.
Palm Springs has a walk of fame?
According to the squirt.
She leans back out of the fridge.
How old are you?
19. Why?
Sie meint doch, sie wäre 20.
Close enough. Drink.
With a loose throat that I actually have to die for, she tosses me a bottle. The print is in Spanish, carved into the thick glass just above the label. I try pronouncing it, but it comes out sounding depressingly American. Also der Fakt, dass sie das erkennt, spricht schon mal für sie.
You should be worshipping me. That's the good stuff.
I'm ecstatic.
I think she's too far gone to notice the flatness in my voice. Even if she did, I doubt she'd care, with something resembling happiness on her face as she cradles half a dozen or so bottles to the couch.
You gonna drink all that? Haven't you had enough?
Go die. You stole my equipment and my treasure. I'm not letting you steal my 40 ounces to freedom.
I shrug and flop down beside her. Mariah drunkenly reaches for the remote, misses it twice, then switches off the music and holds the remote across the room.
Finally, thank you. I hate ska.
Mariah snarls at me like a toothless piranha.
It's reggae, you uncultured brat!
She slumps back down.
This guy's okay too.
Uncultured? You were the one who wanted to blow up Shiprock.
It was a suggestion. Suggestion! I don't have nearly enough TNT for that.
The fact you even have it is what bothers me.
Whatever, at least I know what I listen to is good. I like whatever you're into.
Oh, I can assure you, what I listen to is better than ska.
Reggae!
Jazz fusion, new age, world music, all better than your circus noise.
You actually like that hippy-dippy crap? What Volkswagen did you fall out of?
Volkswagen, what?
The one that hit your mother when she was pregnant with you, apparently.
We both click our tongues. Without looking, she pops my cap with a bottle opener, then hers. Giving a half-assed clink of our bottles, we take a swig. The swampy drink trails down my throat, setting my chest on fire. My experience with alcohol is really limited. Gramps didn't keep a lot of booze around, and when he did, it was always mead or wine. I only snuck some out a few times for special dates.
Gotta say, you're a lot less bearable without the dits holding you on a leash.
Shut up!
She barely held the flame to the fuse, but that single word is enough to make something inside of me go off.
Don't you talk about her that way! She's a kinder, more caring person than you'll ever be!
Mariah scrunches her nose like my outburst didn't make any sense to her dumb, drunk face.
That's not a very high bar.
Oh! Krass. She's not wrong, but couldn't she have at least tried defending herself? I groan and let my blood simmer down, but not before spitting out one more shot of venom.
Whatever. It's not like you're any better. You're a mess without the other two keeping you in check.
Hey! Don't get any ideas. I'm the one keeping them in check.
Die Art, wie sie spricht, ist aber schon.
They'd be dead by now if it weren't for me.
Sure, Mariah. I pinch the bridge of my nose and shake my head with a short laugh. Whether or not I choose to accept that Mariah exists in my reality, she's at least something familiar. Comforting probably isn't the right word for it, but she's someone to talk to.
Why are you here anyway?
Who even knows? Joe mentioned something about a music orgy thing.
Music orgy? You mean the festival?
Yeah, that.
Huh. And you went along with it? I guess that makes sense. You guys are a thing, right?
Building up from a bunch of snorts, Mariah bursts out laughing.
Me and that slacker wouldn't be a thing if the planets collided, wiped out everything, formed a mega planet, and we had to repopulate.
Why do I get the feeling this exact scenario has been played out in her journal multiple times?
Besides, there's more important things to focus on. Or at least,
She looks at the drawer again, then glares at me.
there were.
I hide the temptation to laugh in her face and take another gulp.
So nothing, huh? You grew up with someone and don't feel the tiniest thing for them?
She takes another swig, but this time just gives the wall a dry, blank stare.
If he's still single in 10 years, maybe I'll marry him out of pity.
Ich kann an dieser Stelle einfach wirklich gar nichts mit der Aussage anfangen. Ich weiß nicht, was das heißen soll. Ich weiß nicht, was sie damit wirklich sagt. I bet she'd marry the treasure in a heartbeat, though. Probably do more than just marry it.
What about you and the disc? Aren't you two going to the music orgy together?
Her eyes narrow.
I'll kill you if that's what you're using my treasure for, by the way.
I don't answer, looking at my now near-empty bottle instead.
What? You two have a fight?
Something like that.
I bet it was because of the gold. No honor among thieves, I'll tell you.
No, nothing like that. It's hard to explain.
Well, I don't really care, but go ahead and moan if you want. It's not any different than what you usually do.
I look at Mariah. She doesn't seem particularly interested in downing more beers than anything. She's a maniac. That has always been and still is abundantly clear. She probably would tear apart the entire Southwest if left unattended. Hell, maybe even the entire nation. She's no Joe. No way she could hold up an actual conversation. No way she could accidentally offer some good advice. No way she feels any sympathy. Still, I feel like I can vent to her. Ja, vielleicht genau deswegen, weil das ist ihr einfach völlig egal, was sie denkt. Not trust her, not after all the RV chases and games of blackjack, but vent. She doesn't care, but maybe that's what makes it so appealing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I stay silent, stare at the ceiling, mulling over everything that's happened, searching for the right words. Words I couldn't even give to Marina.
I said that I don't care. Not that I'm willing to wait all night so you can steal my time, too.
Just give me a minute. I'm not really used to this.
Taking a deep breath, I look past Mariah, unwilling to let her see my shame. The single shred of pride I have left snaps, and I let all the weakness come fumbling out.
I met Marina a little after my grandpa died. He was
My chest tightens.
my best friend. My parents didn't want me, but he did. He raised me in that motorhome. He didn't have to, but he took care of me anyway.
Mariah sips at her beer, listening in silence. No smarmy remarks or deluded rambling.
So, when I was a kid, I decided I was gonna take care of him too. Gratitude, you know? Gratitude for a lot of things. His love, his acceptance, the music.
A stifle of love.
God, the music. The goof could spout random trivia about the weirdest music, bands you've never even heard of. But I loved it. And I loved him. It sounds dumb. A little girl feeling responsible for some full-grown geezer. I didn't care, though. I wanted to prove how much he meant to me. And that's how it worked for the longest time. But then he got sick.
I funnel down the beer and reach for another one. Mariah shoves her hand in front of me and pops off the cap, right as the next cycle of heartbreak starts closing in. I whisk back the bottle and force it down. Soapy foam rushes to the top and spills over as I pull it back. Mariah only shrugs.
That festival,
Man hört
he was
zu.
the one who bought those tickets. It was gonna be our trip. That didn't happen. I failed at my job, but I could at least take the trip for him and try to make up for it. Then I met Marina.
A smile slips onto my face. Despite everything, even just saying her name makes me feel cheerful.
She was really cute and needed a ride, not to mention oblivious. Maybe it was just instinct, but I wasn't gonna let someone so innocent fend for themselves in the desert. I didn't plan on sticking around for long, but when we found the first part of the treasure, I don't know. I told myself I was gonna stick with her because I had to pay off Gramps' hospital bills and funeral. But the truth is, I stuck with her because it felt like it was a second chance. I could do some good. help and protect someone who really needed it. And the closer I got with Marina, the more I felt like she was my responsibility. But even more than that, when I was with her,
My voice cracks, trembling under the weight of my words.
I was happy. It was like Gramps was never even gone. Then I remembered he was, and I completely shut down. Marina tried comforting me, but I just took advantage of her. When I woke up, I realized that's what I'd been doing this entire time. I was never protecting her. I was just using her to cope with Gramps. So I bought her a ticket home. She yelled and cried, but I did it anyway. I didn't just fail Gramps. I made this trip about me, and I hurt Marina. I don't deserve to be happy, and I don't deserve her.
Soaking in the silence, I blink away an annoying watery speck in my eye and fight back a few sniffles.
You done?
Yeah.
Mariah polishes off the rest of her drink and slams it down, rattling the other empty bottles on the table. Smacking her lips, she stretches her neck. Each bone cracks one after the other, sounding off in a delayed trail, way to break the mood. Then she turns to me and speaks.
You're a dumbass.
I pause.
Excuse me?
She's not wrong.
You heard me.
Mariah launches herself at me. I wince as her breath streaks out. The smell was bad before, but now it's like she rinsed her mouth with whiskey.
God, you piss me off.
A growl emerges from deep within her throat as she looks me over. Then, as if acting on simple instinctive desire, she delivers a stiff smack to the back of my head. For a split second, everything is a fuzzy white. The infuriating image of a snarling Mariah greets me as my vision fades back, partnered with an even more infuriating throbbing. Wie hart hat sie geschlagen, bitte?
Ow! What the hell? Why are you hitting me? I just spilled my guts to your jerk ass!
Shut up. I'm talking now.
Mariah stumbles off the couch, gripping the table for support. Her face is darkened by several shades of red since I've gotten here.
Listen here, thief. Dead is dead is dead. Your dear old granddad ain't crying up in heaven because you decided to do some bride in the back of his RV.
Her words burn right to their fiery core. Can't believe I ever thought I could count on Mariah.
Where'd you even get off saying?
I said shut up. Get over your snooze fest of a sob story. You got the girl and you got my treasure. But no, you can't be happy because of some stupid phony sense of obligation. And that's another thing.
Her voice gets louder as her words get sloppier, slipping and sliding over each other. I couldn't get a word in even if I tried. All I can do is listen stone-faced as the lashings keep on coming.
Who the hell do you think you are? What gives you the right to be some self-righteous guardian? You don't look after people because you have to prove yourself. You do it because...
Jetzt bin ich gespannt. She stops and scratches her head. I lean in, my breath frozen by anticipation as she tries to decode her own logic.
Because you just do. Okay? I swear. That annoying complex of yours is gonna smother you and everyone else.
Mariah grabs another bottle and swings it straight down on the sharp corner of the table. The cap somersaults through the air. By the time it lands, she's already chugged most of it.
I used her.
That's right. Obligations, second chances, complexes. None of that means anything because it's all said and done. I used Marina to make myself happy.
You call that using? Give me a break. I use those slackers all the time. That's using. And you know what? Who cares? That did use you to find the treasure, didn't she? Hell, if anything, you probably don't use her enough. I'd feel like a real jackass if some dumbass were calling me all the time and all I could do was sit there. People use people all the time. That's what makes them family.
That's pretty deep, actually. For real? Mariah takes one last swig of her beer, then with a glint of sadness in her eyes stares into the empty bottle.
So if you're gonna hate yourself, find a reason that doesn't suck.
Her face mercs from red to a sickly green. The bottle falls from her hand onto the floor as she rocks side to side, like a sailor that's lost their sea legs.
Hey, you don't look so good.
For a quick moment, Mariah's cheeks blowed out, then just as quickly she swallows.
I'm fine. It's just need to drink it off.
Oof. She rolls back to the couch and collapses next to me. Neither of us speak. Mariah groans, holding her stomach as she feels around for the bottle opener. Oh god. I look at the pile of empty bottles building up on the table.
What happened to not caring?
I don't. I just prefer my treasure not being in the filthy hands of an idiot.
Did it just get chewed up by Mariah? Yeah. Rightfully so, if I may say. Even worse, did some of it actually make sense, or is it just the booze? Unable to spare the energy to lean forward, she stretches her arm way out for another beer, but I catch it just in time and grab a hold of her hand. Okay.
You need to quit! You've had way too much!
Eat me.
She slaps my hand away and snacks 2 more beers, shoving one of them into my stomach.
You're an idiot, but whether or not you want to keep being one is up to you.
I decide to keep being an idiot every day! That's Mariah for you.
I don't know. I need to think about it.
Mariah rolls her eyes.
Dumbass.
Besser als wenn ich das weiter trinken würde. Nothing she says burns anymore. Now it only Now it only stings with the acidity of truth. Getting over it, letting Marina in, really letting her in. It's just not that easy. It's never been that easy. But if I don't... Putting my hand on my thigh, I squeeze the outline of the cassette. Mariah raises out her beer and grunts. Sighing, I raise up mine and we clank them together. Ach, sie ist doch noch am Leben.
Jerk-ass.